Hi, good evening. My name is Father Rayappa. Today I would like to talk about anthropocentrism and Anthropocene epoch. There's a big difference. Anthropocentrism is selfishness, it's evil. I think for the past 2000 years of our human history is marked by anthropocentrism. It's like a parasitism. So, because of anthrocentric philosophies and theologies, we had the ability and impetus to destroy Earth, and we ended up in ecological crisis. But Anthropocene is something different. It is benevolent. Anthropocene is realizing the potentialities what we have in the inner dimension, like altruism, example, compassion and kindness, love and empathy, all those stuff, realizing that we are a wonderful species and we can take care of the earth and we can come away from our prodigal lifestyle and we can become a good Samaritan to the earth. So that is the ability. So anthropocentrism is like prodigal son, and Anthropocene is like good Samaritan. Actually, I want to differentiate between Holocene. You see, the geological time scale is divided into eons, periods, and epochs. So one epoch is called Holocene epoch. Right now, we are living in Holocene epoch. So now there is a shift. Holocene epoch was completely anthropocentric. So we have misunderstood our place in the cosmos. So I think we should maybe we should baptize, that is a Christian word. We should give a new name for the time we are experiencing. So, and also human beings today feels for the earth, and he repents about his own activity, what he has done for the past 2000 years. Now he has to undo all that prodigal DNA makeup, and probably is growing in good Samaritan makeup. That is a new DNA just now evolving within us. So it is not me. Scientists name this experience as Anthropocene epoch. So it's a shift is right now being happened from Holocene epoch to Anthropocene epoch. What we now need are new paradigms to account for the relationship between humans and nature, and there is no more pertinent concept than that of the Anthropocene. This term was coined 10 years back by Nobel laureate in chemistry Paul J. Crutzen to describe a new geological epoch, an epoch shaped by humans, one that signifies the sum of all anthropological environmental changes. According to this view, humanity is not merely scratching at the surface of nature, but fundamentally restructuring it on a long-term basis, good for humanity. The scientific body in charge of naming eras in Earth's history as until 2016 to decide whether to change the name of the present epoch from Holocene to Anthropocene epoch. There is much to be said in favor of the change. It is outdated to view the world as a place made up of natural ecosystems that have been disturbed by human activity, says American geographer Earl Ellis. A more accurate description would be as a series of human systems with natural ecosystems embedded within them. The ramifications of such a view are immense. In the Anthropocene, the environment is no longer an opponent. The borders between cosmology, that is nature, and anthropology, that is human, dissolve. Anyone who thought that the modern human is alienated from nature is wrong. We are in the process of reshaping nature from DNA to global climate. Seen from this point of view, humans were never closer to nature than they are today. And nature was never so cultural. Birds imitate the ringtones of mobile phones. Landscapes are taking on the form of artwork. We are looking at the transition from a random to focused evolution. We are going to craft our own evolution. So far, our evolution was at the mercy of natural selection by default. By now, we can craft our own destiny. So, Anthropocene is seen as the architect of crafting our own future evolution. But it would be wrong to think of the Anthropocene as simply the sum of all our environmental problems. On the contrary, its far-reaching philosophy offers us a way out of set patterns of thinking and could lay the foundations for a genuinely global community spirit. The idea of the Anthropocene shows our actions in their true light. Each individual has an impact on the future of the earth. The talents and imperfections, the routine achievements and exceptional abilities, the dreams and psychoses of 7 billion people all add up to something big and also indeterminate. It focuses on human creativity from new cultural landscapes and technological innovation to adapting environmentally friendly lifestyles. In the Anthropocene, the human being is no longer a destructive force, but as instead a central place in the Earth systems. Zoologist Tim Flannery describes us as superorganisms, drawing parallel with an ant colonist to explain how we help to change the environment of which we are a part. Until now, our economic system treated the environment as an external commodity. In the Anthropocene, the environment has become an inner space. Placing our era in a geological time frame is a useful alternative to the short-term thinking that is currently rife. Whilst speculators follow their billions around the globe from second to second, the idea of the Anthropocene focuses on long-term consequences. Pessimistic conservationists may believe that humans have a long future ahead of them. Like the first terrestrial vertebrates, we are living not at the end of an era, but rather at the beginning of a new one. And since the future is unpredictable, it is necessary to keep our options as open as possible now. Naturally, the idea can be misconstrued. Does Anthropocene actually mean anthropocentric? That humans place themselves above all other beings, the ultimate dictators? Hopefully not. Anyone who takes the idea of Anthropocene seriously will see that it is more an exercise in humility and admission of our immense ignorance. A steep learning curve lies ahead if humans want to make the Anthropocene into a fruitful geologic epoch. Will this process be faster, rooted in qualities of empathy, moderation, common sense, and foresight? The Anthropocene cannot be built on hope alone. According to geoscientist Julia Pongratz of California's Carnegie Institution, the transition from unintended side effects to intended consequences can be difficult and full of conflict. In addition to the reduction of carbon dioxide emissions, artificial coolants may also be needed to stabilize the global climate. Endangered species may become dependent on genetic engineering, satellite transmitters, and zoos to stay alive, and the last stocks of fish protected by the military. Agrarian lands and cities would themselves be termed as ecosystems. In the nature of tomorrow, we will encounter ourselves, and a reshaping of the planet will begin. A vast new territory is opening up, the earth of humans. Actually, this is quoted from the book called The Age of Man, or in German, Menschenzeit. Menschenzeit, that means the age of man, by Christian Schwarzschild. So I took it from the Geo magazine, the January issue of 2013. So it's a beautiful article, and really I want to give a speech on YouTube. But anyway, in Anthropocene mindset, our priority above everything else is about the health of our planet. In the mid-90s, we affirmed our corporate belief that the earth was among the oppressed, and so committed to setting our energies towards the service of the whole earth community. We consider the earth to be a living organism. They call it a super living organism with the right to thrive and flourish, the rights of Mother Earth. To the earth community, this commitment to sustainability is a moral mandate for the 21st century. We strive to look at our lives and our decisions through this lens. This must be described as the 6 R's: reverence, respect, restraint, redistribution, responsibility, and renewal. While there are clearly variations among religions with regard to the expression of these values, it is evident that religions worldwide are moving into their ecological phase. They can bring forth a profound reverence for the earth as a sacred community of life. They can urge respect for the earth's myriad species and expand their ethics to include all life forms. They can call for restraint in the use of natural resources and support for alternative, effective technologies. They can advocate for equitable redistribution of wealth between rich and poor. They can acknowledge human responsibility in regard to the continuity of life and ecosystems that support life for future generations. In other words, not only supporting human life, support all life on earth, pro-life all the way. Finally, they can be a source of renewal and hope in the midst of the deeply challenging environmental crisis we are facing both locally and globally. So I think Anthropocene epoch, it's a brand new epoch in which we see we are a graceful species and we can work for the benefit of Mother Earth, and we can work for the welfare of all, integral ecology. So far we have been dividing. Anthropocentrism was causing division in everything and schisms, fragmenting the world. Cartesian dualism played a major role in that. But now, I think in Anthropocene we see as a unity. We come to the old Vedic and Upanishadic time. It is like God, humans, and creation. All of them are together. So there is no illusion of separation like Cartesian dualism. I think here we find ourselves together. Actually, there are three relationships here. A relationship with God, a relationship with humans, neighbors, and the last one is relationship with creation. These are the fundamental three relationships which should be kept always and everywhere in working order or working condition. So far we have been swayed and we made a mistake. There were rupture in this three kinds of relationship. There was no real relationship towards God and towards neighbor. We know a lot of distortions. Nature relationship we know very well. So I think that was very anthropocentric. Anthropocentrism showed much disregard to these three vital relationships. I think in Anthropocene epoch, so we are going to show much respect and regard to these three vital relationships. And Holocene epoch, we need to say goodbye. Welcome Anthropocene epoch, a new epoch in the geological time scale. Thank you. Goodbye.